Hello and welcome to Volusia Magazine. I'm Amber Osman. In this week's episode, we have tips to help with your holiday air travel. The Harlem Globetrotters are bringing their game to the Ocean Center, and the Marine Science Center sends another patient home. Later on in the program, Joanne Magley sits down with Josephine Mercado, CEO of Hispanic Health Initiatives. Those segments and more coming right up on Volusia Magazine. I hope you stay tuned. With the holiday season in full swing, airports across the country are experiencing their busiest time of year. And along with the increased traffic, the Transportation Security Administration says that they also experience escalating problems with travelers attempting to bring prohibited items, ranging from pocket knives to firearms through security checkpoints. In fact, passengers bringing firearms to airports remains a growing national problem, with 3,391 passengers stopped last year across the country and 3,733 stopped already this year. Thousands of pounds of voluntarily abandoned property consisting of prohibited items such as knives, brass knuckles, and hazardous materials such as household chemicals are stopped by TSA officers every year as well. All voluntarily abandoned prohibited items are given to the local sheriff's department.
Very important for us to get the word out to the traveling public to really look inside their bag before they leave home to know that they don't have any prohibited items in that bag. We do have an escalation in the number of guns that are being brought to the checkpoints. Here, fortunately, at Daytona Beach International Airport, the passengers have been paying attention, and it is the lowest number in the state, with only 3 people so far year to date. And of course, every year we have travelers who have not traveled before and they're new to the process, so if you can remind people, the 311 rule is still in place. The 311 rule was created in 2006 because of a terrorist plot to hide liquid explosives inside everyday items.
Liquids, gels, aerosols, creams, and pastes must be 3.4 ounces or 100 milliliters or less per container and must be in 1 quart-sized clear plastic zip-top bag. 1 bag is permitted per passenger, and the plastic bag must be taken out of the suitcase and placed into a screening bin. While making travel less stressful, these travel tips help passengers avoid civil penalties of up to $11,000. For more travel tips, you can go online to tsa.gov/travel. This December, the Ocean Center has a variety of public events, including a premiere performance by the Harlem Globetrotters. The world-famous team will offer one show at 4 p.m. Saturday, December 9th. A star-studded roster will have fans on the edge of their seats to experience the basketball wizardry and one-of-a-kind family entertainment that thrills fans of all ages.
I would recommend anybody that hasn't seen them to definitely make sure that you make your way to the Ocean Center to see them. They are great entertainment for anyone of all ages. They really do put on a great show. It's very entertaining, not just basketball game, but also tricks and events, and really interactive with the kids as well.
Tickets to see the Harlem Globetrotters range from $18 to $75. For more information, you can visit harlemglobetrotters.com. Also in December, volleyball action takes center stage as the Joseph Volleyball Camps hosts the Florida Holiday Challenge Tournament at the Ocean Center December 9th and 10th. Spectators can purchase tickets to watch the game action. For more information, you can visit jvctournaments.com. The sporting action continues with Sports Tours International hosting a basketball tournament December 20th through 21st, and Street Sports International hosting the Land of Magic Division III basketball tournament December 28th through 30th. For details on these events and other upcoming public events at the Ocean Center, you can visit oceancenter.com and click on the calendar of events.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Today on Solutions for Your Life, Sharon Gamble, livestock agent at the University of Florida IFAS Extension in Volusia County, takes us to a local farm to learn about keeping bees.
Hi, I'm Sharon Gamble with Solutions for Your Life, and we're here at S&S Apiaries today with our preeminent beekeeper, Jesse Hazem, in New Smyrna Beach. I work in the area of livestock and dabble over into entomology and other things, and I've always had a great interest in beekeeping myself. And we were just speaking with Jesse, and he was telling me about all the health benefits involved with locally produced honey.
The honey contains all the nectar that come out of all these flowers, and that nectar have pollen in it. And that pollen that if you inhale it in the air, you're allergic to, when you eat it, your body actually starts building immune to it. And that's why honey actually is very good for you. This is a cabbage palm, and it's in bloom. And we have over 5, 6, 7 different varieties of native bees that actually pollinating the cabbage palm tree, seeking the nectar and the pollen, and they go from one flower to another and they see if they have any nectar inside. I see a yellow jacket, I see a beetle. This is just an example for what a honey flow and how many different varieties of our bees can actually pollinate blooming flower, and it's a source of food for all creatures.
Can you tell me about our local bee population around here and what you do?
The local bee population is actually increasing since I started beekeeping in New Smyrna Beach. I am the largest beekeeper in New Smyrna at the moment. There's other beekeepers around Volusia County, and one of them is bigger, much higher, much bigger than I am. And there's other small ones, and some of them are, run a couple hundred hives, and some of them run like 2 or 3 hives, which is what we call the hobbyists. This is a smoker, and what it does, it basically it alerts the bees that somebody coming into the hive, and that will give us an advantage that they're calm, they know that we're coming, so they're not very aggressive to us.
I have to admit, this is the first time I've held a frame of bees, but I kind of like it.
The queen bee inside a hive is essential. One of the Florida standard is best practice management for beekeepers is to replace queens almost every year. The University of Florida, they recommend to replace queen every 6 months. Personally, I disagree, since the first year of the queen is the best year for her. So I believe 6 months is too short of a window. There's several reasons to replace the queen. One of them is for production. For commercial beekeepers, they replace the queen so they have a fresh, young generation inside, which is a young queen that's willing to lay thousands of eggs during the season, and she's not old and wore out. Over here in Volusia County, we live in what we call subtropical. And what that means is we're neither northerns or southerns. And we have the most diversified different plants in Florida. And what that means to the bees is it's an essential source, a lot of more sources for foraging and for pollination. Anything that blooms, the bees will find before anybody else. And anything that blooms, the bees will work. And there's 2 sources that the bees need from flower. There's some flowers produce pollen, which is essential protein for the hive. And some flowers produce the pollen and the nectar. And the nectar is what we call nectar at the beginning in the flower. Later, the bees will collect the nectar and will turn into honey inside the hive. And there's only 1 to 2% of flowers that produce what we call supress nectar that we can make honey off of. And looking for local honey producers, which is, local beekeeper, is very important. Part of the reason is the ones that you buy in the stores, like in big stores, they process their honey because they don't have a choice. They pack it and they have to process it in order to put it on the shelf in the store.
So if you'd like more information regarding bees and beekeeping or local honey, get in touch with us at the Volusia County Agricultural Center and we'll try to provide you the information you need. We also have an awesome bee club that meets there monthly, and they're just super about helping people get started in the bees and give you some hands-on experience. So with Solutions for Your Life, I'm Sharon Gamble.
Need to find a safe and fun place for your child during the upcoming holiday break? Children can enjoy group activities and field trips with Volusia County's winter break programs at Strickland Park Recreation Center in Daytona Beach, Gemini Springs Park in DeBary, and the Lionia Environmental Center in Deltona. The Strickland Park program for children ages 6 to 11 will run from 7:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. December 21st and 22nd. December 26th through 29th, and January 2nd through 5th. It will include playground activities, movies, and trips to Skate and Shake and Chuck E. Cheese. Parents can register their children inside the Recreation Center from 9 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. and 2 to 5:30 p.m. on December 7th, 8th, 14th, and 15th. The fees range from $45 to $65. For more information, you can contact David Hinson at dhinson@volusia.org or 386-736-5953, extension 12663. The Gemini Springs Park program is open to children ages 6 through 12 and will be from 7:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. December 26th through 29th and January 2nd through 5th. It will include playground activities, movies, and escorted trips to a bowling alley and a roller skating rink. Parents can register their children at Pavilion 1 from 9 a.m. to noon Saturdays, December 9th and 16th. The fee is $65 per child for each 4-day week. For more information, you can contact Daniel Marsh at dmarsh@volusia.org, or you can call 386-736-5953, extension 16767. There's also a fun winter camp at the Lionia Environmental Center in Deltona. The theme of the camp is s'more fun because each day will focus on s'more friends, s'more animals, and s'more treats.
Each day is definitely going to be different. We have it themed different days, but every single day we always hike out in the preserve. What's more fun than going on a hike out in the preserve, seeing the scrub jays, the gopher tortoises, learning all about scrub habitat. And then depending on the theme of each day, we have different activities. Just lots of fun winter activities. Snacks are included in it as well. And the kids are going to have a lot of fun learning about scrub habitat, learning about their natural environment, and just getting a little bit of a break at wintertime too.
The camp runs from January 2nd through 5th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. The fee is $80 for all 4 days or $25 for each individual day. To register for the LEC camp, you can call 386-789-7207, extension 21026. A crowd of supporters gathered in Ponce Inlet recently as a rehabilitated sea turtle was released back into the wild.
So we're here today with Hendrix, a juvenile green sea turtle that stranded and arrived here at the Marine Science Center on October 14th. This turtle came in, he was lethargic, he had a buoyancy issue due to some digestive gas. His immune system just wasn't working right. So by getting him hydrated, getting his immune system back on track, we were able to have a quick turnaround and be able to get him back out. So today what we're going to be doing, Lindsay's going to grab Hendrix here for one last weight and measurement, and then we're going to verify the microchip that we put in is still in place. And you see Hendrix has a lot of energy. He's very strong. All right, so we're just over 2.5 kilograms, so close to 5.7 pounds. So now Shannon's gonna get a final measurement here, and we can just verify how much he's grown in the month and a half he's been here.
27.3.
27.3. All right, perfect. So we've got all that. And now what we're going to do is we're going to check the microchip that we put in, and there it is. So we'll just confirm the number.
That's for our 0246.
0246, perfect. So the pit tag stayed in place, everything looks good. We'll give him one last look here. He's gained a lot of weight and everything looks healthy. He had some wounds underneath that have healed up, some gashes. Obviously he went through something out there, but luckily it was a quick turnaround and we're really excited to be able to get Hendrix back out into the ocean today. He's ready to go.
Today was one of those amazing days that we get to release a sea turtle, one that we've actually had in the rehabilitation. And Hendrix, who is our juvenile green sea turtle, he's stranded in New Smyrna, which is just south of us. And so we try and release them close to where they were found. We got the approval from Florida Fish and Wildlife yesterday to release him, which was great. So we made the arrangements and we did it at high tide. Able to go out into the surf and put him under the wave. I was the lucky recipient to be able to release him today, which was an amazing honor. And he was very raring to go, very strong. You could feel he was ready to go back to the ocean because he was doing good. And
the goal for all animals that come to the Marine Science Center is to be rehabilitated and eventually released back into the wild. The Marine Science Center is open to the public at 100 Lighthouse Drive in Ponce Inlet. Visitors may view the Turtle Hospital and walk through a marine display area and Seabird Rehabilitation Center from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday and noon to 4 p.m. on Sunday. For more information, you can visit marinesciencecenter.com or call 386-304-5545. Let's join Community Information Director Joanne Magley in the studio with Josephine Mercado, CEO of Hispanic Health Initiatives.
Thanks, Amber. Today we're joined in the studio with my guest, Josephine Mercado, CEO of Hispanic Health Initiatives. Hi, Josephine.
Hi, Joanne.
Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for inviting me.
So, Hispanic Health Initiatives is not a new organization, but your services are relatively new for West Volusia County residents and such. So give us an overview of your organization.
Well, basically, Hispanic Health Initiatives was incorporated in the year 2000, just a few months after I happened to move here from New York City. And the idea is to connect the community with those health services that are out there to help them, and to also get information about prevention and where they can access health care. And basically, we've been working with a volunteer-driven organization initially. So we have been working in the counties of Orange, Osceola, Seminole, and Volusia. When the funding stream began, the funding stream dictated where we could do our work. And regrettably, it was always either Orange, Osceola, or Seminole. But from time to time, we would sneak into Volusia and do a health fair, a diabetes class, a health risk assessment, just to keep the community informed and help those people in Volusia also. Fortunately, in the year 2016, the West Volusia Hospital Authority Taxing District awarded us a grant so that we could do our health risk assessment program in West Volusia. And I'm happy to say that it's going, and it's going very strong, and we're very happy to be here too. But that just started in 2016.
So how did you identify that the Hispanic community was in need of these services that they just were not getting?
I'm glad you asked that question, because as the years have gone by, we have realized it's not just the Hispanic community, and it's almost anyone that is of low income. It's probably the working poor. It's in need not only of connecting with those services, but of having people that will advocate for them, as our organization has done, and also educate them about some of the chronic diseases and how they can prevent them. So therefore, we began in the year 2000 by preparing a report on the health status of Latinas residing in Central Florida. And the idea was to just focus on Orange County and at the same time collect information on domestic violence, teenage pregnancy, high school dropout, and breast cancer. Much to our surprise, we were doing this all as volunteers, and we were collecting that information for the National Latina Institute on Reproductive Rights. Much to our surprise, there were no statistics on Latinas. And the reason for that, and that's still true today, is that in many, many cases, we are classified as white or non-white. So we're thrown into those two groups. There was no specific focus on our culture, our tradition, our values, and so on. And so we came out a little miffed, what are we going to do? And we thought, well, let's go to the powers that be and find out how they can start collecting information on our community. And we were told that things are not done like that here. We can't do that. So we said, well, we got to somehow reach out to our women and find out how they're doing. And so we launched Hispanic, and that was the birth of Hispanic Health Initiatives. The need for the word Hispanic in our organization's name was a way of our advertising to our community. We speak Spanish. Our board debated for about 2 weeks whether we were going to be called Latinos or Hispanic. And Hispanic won out.
So talk a little bit about weekly programs and services that you offer. I know there's a number of ways that people can get information or services really every week through your organization.
Well, one of the things that we did when we opened our organization was to address the barriers to access to health care. And one of the main barriers to access to health care is what we call not doing what we do in the community. So we adopted this philosophy that we got to bring it to the community. Therefore, we go to the churches, community centers, places that the community already knows exist, and they visit and they frequent. And on top of that, we also realized that many of the activities were going on. There were health fairs going on before we opened Hispanic Health Initiatives, but they were usually Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. Our community's working. So we also realized we got to do things in the early evening and on a Saturday and never on a Sunday. And Sunday is family day, so they're not going to come, especially when it deals with health, and they're not really that sick, so they're not going to pay attention. So those were some of the things that we took into account when we were forming our programs and designing them, and so as a result, we wound up being all over the cities where a lot of working poor reside.
And I know one of the programs that is a important program in your initiative is to do with diabetes.
Yes, definitely. And one of the things that we do through our program, actually, the program here in West Volusia, they're benefiting from all our experience for the past 17 years, okay? Because initially we were not going to be doing education and some of the programs that we're doing today. We were just going to pick up the information from the powers that be and the experts, such as the American Cancer Society, the American Diabetes Association, put it in the hands of our volunteers and tell them, here, take this to the community, put it in your churches, put it in the laundromat. Let's not wait until people are sick for them to start reading about this info. And so that's what was going to be done initially, but then we started realizing people needed help understanding some of the brochures we were distributing. They also wanted more information, and so that brought about our diabetes class, which is called Los Amigos/Buddies. Our diabetes class is actually designed by Hispanic Health Initiatives, but it's taught totally by volunteer experts. We bring in a doctor, a nutritionist, a pharmacist, and an exercise expert. It's a 5-hour class, and what we want to do is to get as much information in the hands of our community about diabetes, who's at high risk, what are the risk factors, what are the symptoms, the consequences of not taking yourself, what is the appropriate dosage of medication. Some of our community members, to stretch out their medications, will cut their dosage in half. That's a no-no. Well, this pharmacist is going to explain why. The nutritionists and the exercise experts came into being because, quite frankly, almost any chronic disease can be prevented or controlled if you practice healthy nutrition and regular physical activity. And the community does not know that. And so that was the reason. So really, we're community health workers, as you may know, and basically healthy nutrition and regular exercise are our two medicines. So we have the doctor talking about, and the pharmacist, about the importance of medications and getting proper care. But then we also are pushing the idea that you could start taking care of yourself by eating right and practicing some regular exercise.
Do you have any other regular topics that you bring to the community?
Well, through the cardiovascular program, this is like a cardiovascular program, we have also found that there's an issue of high blood pressure in the community. So we screen, our diabetes class begins with screening for A1C. Do you know what the A1C test is?
I don't.
The A1C test is the squealer. Okay. And the reason why we call it the squealer is because it will actually tell that person who is doing the screening what was the blood sugar level in the person that's being screened 3 months ago.
Oh.
Not just today, because what happens is that many people will cheat a little. They will behave 2 or 3 days before they're going to go for their exam. But this will go back 3 months prior, so that if there was any problems with their sugar level during the past 3 months, that test will definitely indicate that. We also screen them for cholesterol, blood pressure, as I mentioned before, and body mass index.
Well, very important information, and again, a lot of times you need to take that information into the communities where the people are gathering, because for whatever reason they're not able to get out to go to the doctor for various reasons. So what's the best way for people to get more information about the Hispanic Health Initiatives?
Well, the best way is really to call our office, but I also want to stress that this is not a program for persons that are ill per se. This is a wellness and prevention program. We want the community to begin to practice preventive medicine. We've had programs on breast and cervical cancer, for instance, where we have had the opportunity to bring a mobile unit and have 20 women screened right then and there for breast cancer. So it's a wellness program. Prevention is the key, and the best protection against almost anything. They can call our office. It's here in Volusia. We're based in DeBarry. They can also stop by our office in DeBarry, and the office number is 386-320-0110.
All right. Well, Josephine Mercado, CEO of Hispanic Health Initiative, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Amber, back to you.
Thanks, Joanne, and thank you too for watching Volusia Magazine. If you have any questions about the show, you can feel free to give us a call at any of the numbers you see listed here, or you can log on to volusia.org and click on the News tab at the top of the screen to find us. And we hope you won't forget to listen to Volusia Today. That's Volusia County Government's weekly public radio broadcast. Volusia Today airs every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Sunday mornings on the local radio stations you see on your screen. For Volusia Magazine, I'm Amber Osman, and I hope you have a wonderful evening.